going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you some attack helicopter gameplay. Me and Jace had some pretty ridiculous runs on this map. It's kind of rare that you find, that you have a good helicopter game. Like, the attack helis are just kind of useless nowadays, I find, because, everyone has a Stinger. The AA just shoots you across the map with the active radar missile, and that thing just hits you from across the map. There's not much warning. And they regenerate really quickly, so like you'll flare out and then they'll have another 2 rockets coming at you within 3 or 4 seconds, so you have to get out of there pretty quick. But this was a pretty good run on Rogue Transmission. Me and Jace pretty much killed it. I ended up fucking up pretty bad. I hit a tree or something. I don't really know how I hit the tree. But anyways, I'm going to talk about the attack helicopter. How I try to do well in it. Me and Jace kind of talked about it and came up with some tips and strategies with, how to do a little bit better as a pilot in the chopper. The number one thing I think is not to fly low and not to hover in one place. Because you see it all the time, you try to jump in the heli, you have some blue guy flying it. He flies super slow, super low, and he likes to hover in one position. The key thing is really strafing. You don't want guys to have easy shots on you with RPGs. I mean, everyone gets hit by RPGs regardless. If you're flying a heli, it happens. RPG or SRA. SRA is now more than anything because that wasn't an issue in Battlefield 3. But as you can see here, I'm using cover every time. I use my flares, try to hide behind this little pillar, go by these mountains, try to wait for my flares to come back. Because if you don't have your flares out when you're, trying to strafe someone, you're in trouble. Because if you get hit by a Stinger once, you're going to go really slow. I switched squads here because I joined late. Jace was in his own squad. I got the heli, so I went and picked him up, and then we ended up doing pretty well. So I was like, all right, Jace, make a squad because I want to get some points. And obviously when you're in a squad with your gunner, you get a lot more points than if you're not. You get the squad passenger assist, and then you get the squad kill assist. And yeah, so we were doing pretty well. But so you always want to have your flares ready, because as soon as you get locked, see I'm getting locked here, use my flares, and immediately I'm flying away. Luckily I got behind this little tower here, that little tower there that you can climb up, and I think it blocked one of the missiles, so I got a little lucky on that one. But I fly away, I stay low, and I kind of try to stay away from the action for a little bit. I wouldn't recommend using ECM. The ECM I find fails me more than anything. I like to use it when I'm flying jets, just for the fact of dogfighting. When someone has a good lock on you, it's nice to have ECM so that you could lose them for 2 or 3 seconds and then get on the tail. But besides that, I wouldn't recommend it. Even in the jets, it's kind of not worth it because you use your ECM when you're getting locked, and almost always you're still getting hit by one of the missiles that's on you. So you definitely want to use flares over ECM. I really don't find that there's any benefit with ECM in this game. Now in Battlefield 3 is much different because you could have below radar and you fly really low for a little bit with the ECM, and you won't be able to get locked from when you're hovering 5 feet above the ground. So it's beneficial. See, another tip is when you strafe a tank, you don't want to strafe it head on, because then you're just asking to get hit by the tank or an RPG or something. Because as soon as someone in a tank starts getting hit by a heli, they're normally like, all right, where the fuck's this heli? I'm gonna blow this guy out of the sky. So you definitely don't want to go 12 o'clock on a heli when he's looking at you or on a tank when he's looking at you in a heli. What else can I say here? Oh, your gunner, you want to be in communication with your gunner, obviously, because if you're in communication, you could call out, like right here I was like 12 o'clock Jace, and he took him out, and I'm like right under his Jace. I believe he takes him out. But yeah, communication's key. Fleeing is definitely more beneficial than staying in the fight, because as soon as you get locked and as soon as you get hit, you're in trouble. This jet here was giving us a problem. Another thing, if possible, if you have someone in your squad or someone in party chat or something that can fly a jet and can handle himself in a jet and can handle the skies, it's nice to have someone up in this air as well that could cover you guys and call out, watch out guys, there's a heli up, there's a jet up. When this game or map, at least, it's actually nice because there's only one helicopter, so you don't have to worry about other helicopters. All you really have to worry about is stingers, jets, and the anti-air tanks, RPGs obviously. But right here again, stinger comes at me, use the flares, fly away, make sure I get my flares back, then go in. Like, it's a game of cat and mouse almost when you're flying a helicopter nowadays. I mean, BF3, if you're in a heli and there's this jet, he's just fucking just wrecking us here. So I'm trying, Jace is like, stay moving, stay mobile, and I'm like, alright. So I'm flying back to the spawn just in case, because your spawn is definitely helpful when someone's on you, if it's another heli, if it's a jet, because if you mark that jet, the unmanned AA is gonna just devastate that jet or whatever the threat is coming at you. So retreat back to the spawn, and as you can see, the unmanned AA right there is just obliterating that stealth jet. But yeah, it's almost as if it's a game of cat and mouse in this game, because the attack heli just gets dropped so quickly, and they're coming out with like the anti-air mine, which that's probably a thing in real life, a mine that takes out aircrafts. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe I don't know. But I'm even shooting at jets with the heat seekers. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. Don't go out of your way to chase jets if you don't have to. That was just, he was flying pretty low and I could get a lock on him, so I figured, I'll shoot a couple heat seekers at him. I think I ended up getting him. I got one jet in this game, I'm not sure which, but yep. Communications definitely good. Jace is using guided missile, and I think the guided missile on a chopper is much more beneficial than the TV missile. Because, I mean, everyone's like, oh yeah, I use a TV, it's the best, man. But the only problem with the TV missile is that if that person misses a TV missile, your gunner's useless for, a good 5 to 8 seconds, because he's going through the little TV animation where he's shooting the rocket, and if he misses, it's still going to go for another, 4 or 5 seconds. And if it's like, just way off in the air, then it's going to keep going forever. And if you can't hit it into the ground or an object or something, it's just going to keep going. So I don't think that TV missiles are really that beneficial, unless your guy's like some amazing TV missile guy who just like, can hit anything from across the map. But if you want to be aggressive with the TV, you need really good communication. You got to be like, hey, you got to lift your nose, this and that. And I feel like that's more of a pain in the ass for the pilot than a guided missile, because with a guided missile, the pilot can still shoot while he's, strafing in, and then as your gunner is watching you shoot, lighting them up, you get some damage on them, then the guided missile normally comes in and destroys the vehicle or whatever you guys are engaging at that time. So I just don't feel like the TV missile is actually that good when it comes to the chopper. It's good if you're like, 600-700 meters off the ground and you're away from everything and nothing's, shooting at you. Then you could, snipe out vehicles from across the map, but then you're always at the risk of being locked by a stinger or the anti-air. You're just exposed the whole game. So I don't really like my gunners having the TV missile. I wouldn't recommend it. I know a lot of people think, oh yeah, TV missile's so good. It's not really that good, I don't think. It doesn't blow everything up with one hit either, so I don't find that it's that good. The guided missile is just much more efficient. gets things done a lot quicker. This is pretty cool right here. Me and Jace, I'm just like, oh, look in that building. We both just light up the building and pick off some guys. I'm not sure which helicopter I'm in. I believe it's the Havoc on this map, but here I end up hitting a tree. Watch this spot. Like, I don't understand how I hit a tree here when I'm flying vertical up. And I bump something. Look, I bump. Jace was smart enough, he jumped out. But, you know, I went down with the ship as the chopper pilot. I was a little bit irritated about that one, though. And, you know, it's okay. I ended up just waiting for the chopper again because it's like, well, I might as well end the game in the chopper. So Jace ended up moving out. You know, he's trying to stay mobile on the ground and get some more kills. But I ended up getting it. And it's like, all right, Jace, come over here, come to the dome or whatever. I'm like, get out to a clearing, I'll pick you up. And he's like, all right. He made his way up to the dome. I'm not sure how. I think the levolution had happened, so the dome had caved in. So he was able to get up to the top and get to the dome. And then we finished off the game in the heli, and I believe we had a really good game. I went like 10-1, and Jace went 29-0. And that's with me joining the game pretty late. I joined at like 55 minutes or something around there. But so I'm looking over my notes here to make sure I haven't missed anything. You know, I don't want to shame Jace and myself missing some tips about the helicopter. No, but I believe I hit everything. Strafe, use cover, make sure you have flares, don't attack tanks head on, don't fly low, don't hover, and use a guided instead of the TV missile. But those are my tips and tricks. I don't know if they're that good, but another tip would be flying Legacy inverted. I feel like that's the only one that really makes sense. Because, you know, up with the left analog stick puts you up, and then your right is, you know, you're leaning in your helicopter and stuff. I just feel like it's more realistic way to fly, and it makes more sense. Anyways, guys, that's about it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. This is Run to My Knife. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.